Marie here, and today I'm back with another weekly wrap-up. It's been more than a week. It's probably not going to be regularly on a weekly basis, but it's going to be roughly a week. So it's been roughly a week. And I can show you what I've made in that rough week time period. All right, first of all, I finished the summer bookmarks. So I got those all assembled and the trim on those, and I don't know if I love them. I need to use my flat iron on the ribbon here. I think I would have liked to have had some lighter colored blue ribbon. It is kind of in the background, but I might still, yeah, and you can see it on the denim background. I might still look for some. Then I got busy with the Stamperia goodies that I got for my birthday, and I made some cards. I'm also doing a challenge on 2Ps Refugees where we have to use our stamp sets, each stamp set that we own, at least once before we buy more stamps. We'll see, because I counted, and I have 225 sets. That does not include, that doesn't include wood-mounted stamps. It doesn't include the sets that I've broken up or the sets that are temporarily stored somewhere else or in kits. So 225 is a lot. So we'll see how that goes. But it has made me use my stamps more. So for example, on this card, I used a splatter stamp to add some texture to the background, and then I heat embossed it with silver. And then otherwise, I pretty much used the materials as is. I added a little cheesecloth and some craft for matting, used a rub-on, and another stamp set on the inside. This one's essentially identical to that. I like to make them in two pairs or pairs of pairs. This is actually the first two that I made. So I fussy cut out that card a little bit more, and then I added lots of gems, and then this is just some cool trim that I have in my stash, and they're blank on the inside. I might add like a sympathy or encouragement type of sentiment to the inside. And I also, forgot about this, I used a stencil with some iridescent texture paste and some grit paste down here. This is the same iridescent paste, but I just kind of wiped it across the surface. I thought all four of these, turned out really pretty. They're all unique, but kind of the same. They were relaxing to make. I can't say that about everything I've been working on. All right, then I decided I wanted to play with molds and try to make some casts. I'm not big on resin, okay? Just because I probably should be, because it uses the same equipment as gel nail polish, and I'm really into nail polish. But I've avoided gel nail polish because you can develop allergies to them. And I just thought, why would I want to invest in all the equipment and then have an allergic reaction right away and never be able to use it again? And I've heard things about the fumes with resin. So I've stayed away from the whole resin scene. But I decided to play around with air dry clay and the resin molds. Some of the resin molds are very detailed. So, and the clay, air dry clay, is not going to hold up well to being put in those little detailed molds. So for example, this was a locked heart. It had a little arch across the top, and that broke off. But some of them, they still have the texture really nicely. These were keys. and the keys snapped off. But also I've seen a trick now that I'm going to try these again sometime. Try them again sometime with it. Or I'll just give up and try resin anyway. But I still thought these were pretty and they would be just a nice little textured tchotchke piece. At the Stages of the Moon, I thought this might go nicely with the Stamperia stuff too. Something about tides and oceans, you know. And then I got some good basic stars. And the butterflies turned out okay too. I like that you can still see the texture. I'm just not sure how sturdy they're going to be. But it was air dry clay. It wasn't that difficult to use. It's kind of relaxing to work on all that one evening. And then I just had to let it dry. I want to try using them in like more 3D applications, like a shadow box or a plaque in a frame, that kind of idea. But again, not the sturdiest thing, so we'll see how they hold up. All right, then I've been making these paper folios. They're just a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. I will link in the description box below who I got this idea from, because I can't remember their name right now, but I have it saved. And they're just, you take a 12 by 12 sheet and you score it at 1, 6, and 11, and then you turn it and you score it at 4. Then you cut notches to reduce some of the bulk so it stays together a little better. And then you stick everything together. What I want to do is I need to go back and really crease these really well with my bone folder and add some score tape. So live and learn. Score tape's on its way. I ran out apparently, so. But they're to like stash in your bag or your purse, and then you can put your receipts or your checkbook or your to-do lists, your notes, whatever, in here. And then I'm just including some paper just to kind of demonstrate that idea. And I like that I use double-sided paper for most of them, but not all. But it was a great opportunity to use some really pretty paper and just play with it when I don't normally have the time, or I don't normally have the project in which to use stuff. So it was nice to like have a project where I could use pretty paper. And I picked paper I wasn't overly attached to, so I didn't definitely want to use it in a scrapbook layout or something, so that I get to keep it forever in my albums. Thought that was kind of a Burberry plaid type look. So those are the plain folios, but then I'm decorating them, and I'm trying to keep it very formulaic, so that I'm basically assembly lining this. But I cut a bunch of labels. These are 3 by 4, and then I just reversed my corner punch to cut the notches. And this is one of them. I'm gonna add, it's gonna have an elastic that holds it together, and I'm gonna use those loop clips from the Bookmarks, and maybe some ribbon. Yeah, definitely some ribbon, just to zhuzh it up a little bit and make it a little bit more fun. Start with my least favorite and work my way up. This one almost has Disney colors between the red and the black, but so those will be the little tags hanging off of the elastic there. Thought this one turned out really pretty. And I thought these little tags together are cute, and I like how The flowers and the stamps that I used mimicked the flowers on here, and the scallop circle mimicked those flowers as well. And then this one's my favorite. I used marcasite, which is like a black holographic powder for the stardust, and then silver embossing powder and silver mirror cardstock. And here are the tags. I really love these. We're all made of stardust. And a moon with clouds. So those will be the tags that hang off of the belly band that I'm going to add. All right. So that means I used 1, 2, 3, 4 stamp sets so far on those, and then 5, 6, 7. I've used 7 stamp sets so far out of 225. So I guess at least I've made a dent. And then I've got, well, not really a dent, maybe a tiny divot. But then I've already pulled all of these stamp sets to use for the remaining folios. So I will have made a dent. I will. I hope. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.